Hi everyone, this is Nikki from Pookadoodles. I'm just checking that you can all actually see and hear me. Oh my goodness. Natalie, is it actually working? Please tell me in the comments. Oh, I'm so stressed. It's all working, great. Oh my goodness, at last. Honestly, what a day. I am so sorry that I'm late by 36 minutes. I do apologise. Right, okay. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I've actually been so excited about this, and poor Natalie, I've caused her so much stress this week. I'm so sorry. But anyway, it's really great to be joining you all. So thank you very much for bearing with me. So, Natalie, thank you for letting me take over your Facebook page. How exciting. First time I've ever done this. It's really, really exciting. So, Chris says, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. So, Natalie asked me to do a little takeover to show you guys all the amazing Pookadoodles products she's got in store. And also we're going to do a couple of little demos. And well, actually, not little demos. I've actually got a few different things lined up for you. So I'm kind of going to do, I'm sorry I can't do the double camera thing for some reason, which was why it took me ages to come back on again. So first of all, I'm going to flick through lots of samples and some of the products that Natalie's got in store. I'm hoping I've picked out the right things because she has a huge range of our products and we've got lots of samples to go through and everything. So hopefully she'll be able to point them all out to you guys. So if you've got any questions at all, just post in the comments and Natalie's going to answer some of the questions. I've got all the comments here as well, so I can actually see them as you're doing them. So that's really great. So we're going to look at Christmas, but we're going to look at things that aren't Christmas as well. And because I've got a big grey thing here, in fact, let me get rid of that. That's ugly. Let's get rid of it. We're going to kind of like try and zoom through everything. So it'll kind of be a bit quick fire, but just literally shout and leave me comments if you want me to go back over things. So we're pretty famous at Pookadoodles for our gnomes, and we do gnomes all year round, Christmas, non-Christmas, and but this Christmas we've really gone overboard because you guys are absolutely as obsessed as we are. So we have actually released 12, and I'm a little bit blurry. I've got to tell you, I've had to put my webcam up because my camera still wouldn't work for some reason. So we've got the webcam taped to a pole with parcel tape right now. My gosh. Anyway, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit blurry, but I have no idea how I can zoom in. So this is the Gnome Let's Get Blitzen, and our stamps are all clear photopolymer made in the UK, so really great quality stamps as you can see, and all of these sets have little sentiments on there as well with great plays on words. So we love our kind of like funky sayings that are like a little bit humorous and everything else. So that's Let's Get Blitzen. And that actually is not the right die for it, it's this die. So we actually have dies that are going to match these. This one is actually my sample copy, so these aren't joined dies, they're all separated already, so you don't have to unjoin these or cut them apart or anything. So you've got the matching dies to go with. So I'm going to try and actually show you the correct, I've picked the wrong ones up there, oh my gosh. But you know, it's not surprising really, is it? Can it actually get any worse? I'm just looking. Where's it all gone? I've got everything mixed up. I was in such a blind panic there, I can tell you. Right, so let's get Blitzen. Now, the other thing that Natalie has, I believe, I think she has the Woodland Door die, which is amazing, as you can see. So this creates the most fabulous little doors. You actually can cut out the window and everything in here, and then we've got the this little, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, it's kind of, it can be either, and he or she is coming out of here with like little Rudolph. These are so cute. So as you can see on the stamp set, you've got one main stamp here, and then we give you lots of little accessories as well, so you're getting loads. So you can see there's no room. I absolutely jam pack our stamp set, so there's never any room. Oh, it's sold out. I'm sorry. Woodland Door sold out. We actually sold out as well. We have just literally received more stock today, so I'm sure Natalie might get that back in for you. If you ask her nicely, she might be able to get it in time. So let's have a flick through some of these samples. I love this one. Look, that's all coloured in sepia. So we've got the door there, and then one of the gnomes, just all in those nice brown sepia tones, really fab. Got another one here with lots of texture on, so just ignore the door. Natalie doesn't have the door, sorry. But look how you get a different feel. So this is kind of going a little bit more down the mixed media avenue as well. And then we go over to like something really clean and simple, which is a style that I love. I love when we can do really versatile looks. I love this one. So this is just layering up some of those bits of foliage and things as well. This is all just still off that one stamp set, as you can see. I'm sorry, my camera blurs out when I move. So these are some of the fab things that you can create, and these are so easy to colour in. So I know that a lot of you you know, don't colour or don't have time to colour, and I think at Christmas it's even more important because, you know, we kind of have a lot of cards to make, so we don't, you know, I think unless you're really, really into your colouring, you maybe don't spend huge amounts of time actually colouring everything in. But these are great because you don't actually need to do a lot to them. You know, on this one, whoever's done this, although it looks great, there actually isn't that much shading on here. So she's literally just coloured it in quite flat and then just gone back in and just added one little bit of tone. And my first demo that I'm going to do is one of the gnomes. And I'm going to show you how to colour it in really quickly with Copic markers. So hopefully you're going to like... Oh, that's some others sneaking in. Wow, concentrate, Nikki. So that is the Let's Get Blitzen. So let me try and grab something else. I think I might have mixed all my samples up, you know. So let's have a look. I'm going to pull everything that I've got out here. So we have now Christmas Joy. You have to bear with me because these are all mixed up. Oh my goodness. And where are my stamps? Okay, 1 second. I'll be with you. You see, because my camera's not working, I'm doing it all differently. I was actually going to have 4 cameras set up for you, and now I can't. So, right, okay, here's all the stamps. I'll just take them off the shelf. So this set is actually the Christmas Joy. So this is our gorgeous Santa gnome here. And again, you know, you've got all these great elements. This one you've got actually got a lady gnome on here as well. And we always try and give you the coloured packaging for inspiration so that it gives you an idea of how you can actually colour. So I'm going to flick through the other stamps because otherwise we'll be here till midnight. So this is Gnome 'Tis the Season. I love this one. So this is our cute little penguins in their sleigh, and you've got an extra gnome here and all these little sentiments and accessories. As you can see, always turn our stamps over to the back because, you know, the front is just there for inspiration, but you can see that they're nice, good size without being too tiny. I find the really tiny stamps quite difficult to colour sometimes. This is Let It Snow, which is one of your favourites. And this one has the penguin and the snowman here. Then we've got our other gnome who's ice skating with his little bird on his hand. And I like this one because it's got poinsettia and it's got a bit of holly in there as well. They've all got all these extras. We've got the gnome mistletoe here. This has been really popular because you guys love your snowmen. and this one's been, I really like this one, because, and I designed this one for things like, you know, when you need to send to a couple, you know, and it, rather than it being a family, it's an actual couple. So it, you know, it's really great. Or it could be to your husband or to your wife or your partner, whoever, you know, it could even be, you know, brother and sister if you wanted to. But you can see you've got the snowman here. We've got this adorable little reindeer here as well, which is super cute. So really lovely set. And again, this is the last one in this series. We've got 2 sets of 6. So this is Tinsel in a Tangle. And this adorable little couple are actually sitting on a branch. And I don't know if you can see that, but they actually have 2 little birds on their lap, which is so cute. I absolutely love that. And you can build all of these scenes, and again, nice good sizes, but great to fit on an A2 size. So this packaging here is A2, so you can see that they're going to fit perfectly on your card. So that's the first series. So all of those have their own matchable die sets. Okay, I won't show you the dies because it's boring to see. So let's see some samples for those. So bear with me because I'm going to have to try. Let me just pull my stamps out because I'm going to have to try and actually work out which set each one's from. Okay, so here we have that lady gnome. That's from Christmas Joy. So that's the Santa one. So that's her from this one. Look, so super cute. We've got some 3D foam there. We've got the paper packs as well. So we actually, I hope Natalie's got paper packs because we've sold out of all our Christmas paper packs. I think we've literally got about 3 left of each, and that's it. Look at this. How adorable is this card? Oh my goodness. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just so festive. I absolutely love it. So that's the same set again. Christmas Joy. Totally different way. And actually, I think this must be the right pile. So here we've actually got the snowman here. Where is he? Oh, it's a little bit bigger on there, but it's actually this snowman. We have, if you like to colour deeper skin tones, you know, it works in those as well. So we've got Mr. and Mrs. Santa here, which is super cute in those deeper skin tones, which I just think is lovely. And I love that you can tailor make it by stamping. Look at this great card. So this is a great sort of, we would call this like a Z-fold card, I think. So I love how all the trees have been done there. Anyway, I need to speed up or we're not going to get through everything. So these snowmen again, kind of just, I love how this has been masked. And so, you know, we've just stamped the tree. Who did this one? I'm not sure. So they've stamped the tree here and then just actually stamped and masked the snowman. So it looks like there's lots of masking, but actually there's only really this bit of masking here. So really simple to do. And the best thing is, you see these 2 little dudes here? She's actually put those on shrink plastic and shrunk them down. Look how tiny they are. So that's the actual stamp there for the snowman. How many of you love shrink plastic? Now, I have to, if you can hear lots of noises, I do apologise, but we have what we call Bonfire Night here in the UK. And it's actually a commemoration of when Guy Fawkes tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament in the 1800s. I think it was 1700s. So every 5th of November, everywhere across the country has big bonfire parties with lots of fireworks, and they're all going off. So if you can hear lots of banging, it's not people getting shot, it's fireworks going off. Look at this, how cute is this? So just layering up that snowman and the trees, absolutely love it. And the little lights are actually on a different set of, I can't remember which one they're on, but they are actually there on a different set. Got another Santa, and there's still different cards that keep popping out. So they're Gnome Christmas Joy, so lots of things that you can create. Obviously, rewind the video and you know you'll be able to stop and have a look, or go onto our gallery. If you go onto our website gallery, you know, if there's anything that you want to see again, you'll be able to get it on the website gallery because all of these are uploaded. So this is Gnome for Gnome Mistletoe. So this is this set, so the one with the couple on, which is one of my favourites. So how adorable, really, really cute. Again, we've got the Snowman there from that set. I'm going to leave it that way around so you can see. And we're going to need to flick through these pretty quickly. We need to start moving on. Natalie, do you still have the snow globe dies? This is actually the snow globe die from this year's release. And the little snowman and the snowflakes come from there. I love this one. I've got to show you this one. How adorable. So this is kind of a stepper card. So we love this shape here in the UK. Very, very popular. Another one using that snow globe die. And again, just the snowman. The snowmen are just so popular. That's a different one. I think we might have moved on to a different one. Yeah, okay. So that's from Gnome Mistletoe. So where are we now? Let me just have a quick... Oh, gosh, it's crazy, crazy. I don't know where this one's from. What's he from? Where's this one from? Oh, my gosh. Chris, you need to help me. I don't know, all the samples got mixed up. I don't know where this is from. I thought they were all organised as well. I think I must have dropped them or something. Okay, anyway, so we have this little dude. So another little snowman here. And again, onto then a slimline card. Totally, totally different. We also have, this is no good, I need to find these. Oh, he's from here, look. Tinsel in a Tangle. Okay. So this set, again, that lovely big couple sitting on a tree branch. And then this, even the snowman is a good size stamp. And the parcel's there. So that's where this one comes from. I need to move these out of the way for you so you don't get confused. I love this. Now, this card... the background here has been created with the Park Life stencil, which I know Natalie has. Let me just grab that for you. I actually have that with me, I believe. If it's too... There you go. So this stencil is not a Christmas stencil. Let me just move this so you can see it. Let me grab a piece of dark card because this is so lovely, this stencil. I think this is a real must-have. How awesome is this? So this is like a forest or a park. To me, it was a park. And you can just get the best effects with this. It works all year round. It just depends on what colours you put into it. So here on this card, just using it in those, let me pull that up, in those light blue distress inks. And then she's just actually cut out a couple of trees and then just laid up all these parcels, and it looks like she's done lots, but actually all she's done is stamp the parcels 3 times and then cut them down, and the little snowman's jumping on top of the parcels. How adorable is that? I absolutely love that card. So this is the Tinsel in a Tangle set. This is the Park Life stencil, and I know Natalie has this. So that's a really great stencil, 6x6 that one. So it's it's going to really fit most of your projects. And we'll just flick through. Someone's embossed here, so you could be using your embossing folders, or if you've got a nice holly stencil, you could put that through your die cutting machine and emboss it. And then another gorgeous card here. So this is the papers from, I think, winter. Oh gosh, where does that come from? I can't actually remember. I think that must be from, oh, I don't know. Natalie will be able to tell you. I don't have the paper packs with me because we literally have sold out, and I don't even have one myself. I never even got to use it. But yeah, so you can, add your own dies in there and everything. So that is Tinsel in a Tangle. I think that's it. We're probably done for that one. And we're not even anywhere near yet. So going back to 'Tis the Season with the little penguins, we don't have many samples for this one, so I do apologise, but we do have a couple. So we've got, that's not that one. We have, where's it gone? I've picked the wrong stamps. This, not that one. Gosh, Natalie, I'm really sorry. So, Let It Snow. I knew there was one we'd not done yet. So this is Let It Snow with the adorable penguin and the snowman on there, the skating gnome, and then your extra bits and pieces. So that's that one that's that size. And this is our skating gnome. I love this. I just love it. The layering, winter layering stencils as well. And then we've actually used the little poinsettia and the holly leaves just to kind of layer up here as well. So don't forget, they will all die cut for you. So you've got all the dies that can do that. So it's not as complex as you actually think. But really, really lovely. I love this one as well. So I think the same person was on a roll doing the little squares, but I love that. I think it works so well. And what I do love here is, look, she's actually used, how clever is this? My design team is so clever. Look at, the penguin's got a little hat on, and I've only just noticed it, but look, the hat is actually the Christmas tree stamp. How cool is that? I never even noticed it before. Right, okay, I need to move on. So, we're never going to get anywhere. I need to show you a couple more things. So, that's that same Santa there again. Another one from that one as well. And then just to show you a completely different look. Oh no, what's sold out now? Everything's selling out. So, a completely different card. So, totally traditional, but from that little cute set. And just using the poinsettias, so just to show that it is really versatile, and you know, things that you can actually do. I love showing you lots of different ideas and things that you can do. And finally, from that set, this wonderful card, which is from, I'm not sure, I haven't got the names on the back, but how gorgeous is this coloured? Okay, right. And then we need to go to round 2. And actually, this is going to be fast because I don't have many samples of this. So round 2 was our second release of gnomes. We wanted to bring you lots and lots. So so this is the second batch, if you like. These have only just been released in the last sort of month. So this is Naughty or Nice. And this one, you've got your sleigh, you've got Santa on the rooftops, all your little bits and pieces. Then look at this. So this rooftop stamp is a really nice size. Nice and open and easy to colour. And then you've got your sleigh, and you can put lots of different things in there. You've got little parcels that you can actually decoupage and layer in. I adore this little robin here, but he could also be a cardinal. If, you know, whatever bird it is at your, wherever you live, whatever your Christmas bird is, that little bird can be that. So that's Naughty or Nice. We then also have Chimney Capers. So I'm trying to hold it still so it doesn't blur. Let me go there. I think it's when I get a bit close. So Chimney Capers is Santa coming down the chimney, and then you've got him actually delivering his parcels. And again, a really, really good size stamp, but not over large either. They're just the perfect size to make a card. We've then got, now this is actually one of the top customer favourites out of this release. So this is Gnome Worth Melting For. And we've got the snowman here, which I suspect is why it's such a favourite. And then we've got this adorable lady gnome hanging stockings in the tree. And look, there's 2 little birds poking out of the tree. And again, really good size. So this snowman is a stamp on his own. You know, that is a card on its own. And then you've also got the lady one as well, so yet another card. So, you know, standalone, and then you've got lovely snowflakes. These also make really great flowers, so don't think of these only for winter. We've then also got So that was Gnome Worth Melting For. This is Gnome for Christmas. And this one's a little bit cheeky. So we've got Naughty Gnome here. And can you see he's actually eating the cookies? And his penguin friends, there's a little cookie lid down here. And he's holding the tin up and he's eating all the cookies out of the tin. That's so naughty. And all crumbs are on the floor. And there's actually a sentiment here. And it says, Santa, please stop here. We have lots of cookies. Well, we don't anymore because they've eaten them all. But again, a really great size stamp. And even the penguin, look, you've got a separate penguin, and even he's a good size. So you could just put him on a card with the tree, or use him for journaling. You could make some really amazing scrapbook layouts and journal pages with these as well. So we've got Gnome hand delivered, and again this is a really lovely one. So you've got Santa on his own, and if you can see there, he's carrying a little basket, and there's a little tiny gnome in the basket hitching a lift, which is really cute, really funny. And then we've got another Santa here with a snowman, a penguin, a little bunny rabbit, and Rudolph there. And we've even got reindeer ears and a little Santa hat. And again, if I just flip that over so you can see that one a bit better, hopefully you can see how big that is. So still nice and easy to colour. There's your little reindeer ears, so you could put that, on. It's just great for like little embellishments and things. And then that other Santa there, which is, you can see he's carrying the other little gnome there, so it's like a little double gnome one. And then finally, number 12 is Gnome Jolly Holly Wishes. And again, we've got this one, we have a pair of snow gnomes. So these are actually snow people gnomes. How cool are these? And I love this little skinny tree on here. I love skinny kind of contemporary Christmas trees. So my Christmas trees are always a little bit funky. And then we've also got a lady gnome ice skating here. There's a little cup of hot chocolate, and then you've got all your sentiments again. So again, don't forget you've got all your dies that are going to match these, and that's that set. So I haven't got many samples to show you of these. I've only got a few, literally. So I'm just going to flick through these. So clean and simple card. So this one is the Chimney Capers. I think that one's called, yeah, Chimney Capers. So if you love colouring, that's a really great one to go for. And I just think, it says it all. He's coming down the chimney head first, upside down, with his sack of goodies. So that's just such a cute card. We've also got this one, which is the Naughty or Nice. So that's this set. So you've got the sleigh with that as well. So if you wanted to do a landscape card or a long slimline card, you could put this. You could just draw. I would literally just draw a line here with a black pen, and then sit the sleigh on top, because as you can see, the sleigh is going to fit right alongside. So it'll just sit, and you could just extend that and really make a great scene out of it as well. So that's super cute. I love this because the little penguin's hanging, kind of poking out from behind Santa, and he's having a job getting in here because he's eating a bit too many mince pies, I think. So and then we've got this one, which is from, where's he from? Do you know? I think that's out of the other batch. It is. I can't remember where he's from. But he, again, a nice clean and simple card, but still really stylish and contemporary. I love this. And then finally, this is my last sample I've got to show you from these. I'm sorry, but we're going to go to a demo in a second. And then this is the Gnome hand delivered. So this one is from this set. So Gnome hand delivered, and you get the other gnome with it as well. And how cute. I love having this, just this little bit of hessian here. Really gives it that heartfelt, homemade feel. And just this lovely, shiny paper bow on there. It's just fabulous. So I hope that's all the samples that I've got to show you for the gnomes, I think. Unless I've actually lost some somewhere else. I'm going to just give you a little quick peek at the paper packs. So I do have a couple, but I don't have all of them with me. I do apologise. So this is Winter Wonderland. So this was from the second release, and this has got lots of penguins in it. Really cute, nice and brightly coloured, so it's just totally festive. We've then got Sweet Gingerbread, and this has been so popular. I wasn't sure how well you guys would love this, but everyone's loved it. And this year for Halloween, we kind of had a bit of a pink feel going on, and we've pulled that through into Christmas as well. So this is really sweet because you can actually do all of these papers are very soft, and it means that you can really focus in on those stronger colours when you start to do your colouring and things. But these are really lovely, and 12 designs, 2 of each. And then we also have, Natalie, do you have these? I'm not sure if you have these, but there are other stencils that match as well. I won't prey on this. I have a feeling she hasn't actually got those. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have a quick rummage and see if there's any other samples. I do have a couple more samples to show you. Just a couple more. So this was with the snow globe die, but those penguins again, so really super cute. And then the lady penguin, the lady gnome from Christmas Joy, and just piling up again with those layering stencils in the background. So she has the birch tree. So, right, okay, so that's this one. So this one, so this stencil, I love this stencil. So this is called Scenic Woodland, and this actually has your deer in there, but again, one that you can use all year round. It's not just for Christmas, but you can really make some beautiful things with that. Great for scene building and doing all of that, and that would obviously work quite well with this as well. So right, I think we need to get to a demo. Oh my gosh. Right, okay, do we have time? Of course we have time. I'll be here at midnight at this rate, but I don't care. Okay, bear with me while I get all my little bits and pieces out of here. Okay, so I am going to be using, gosh, this is just a little quick, hopefully quick. I tend to ramble on. I've tried to kind of prep this as much as I can for you so that it's not too intensive. So I've lost my thing. Right, okay, where has it gone? Okay, from my supermarket, I ended up with these cute things. These are marshmallows, and I have to say there were 2 packets of these, and this is all that's left, because guess who ate all the marshmallows? Look at these, how hilarious. So we've got penguins and snowmen. I couldn't resist. They were so expensive, but I actually couldn't resist. So when I saw them, I thought I need to make something with those. They're just the best present. But they come in just a boring packet, pretty much like this, with, you know, like the normal packaging. So I thought, right, okay, we're going to make a header card to go with it. So I have cut just some cardstock down here. I'm going to just grab some tape because I need to tape this in. And then it will work a little bit better, won't it? So I'm just going to grab some double-sided tape, and I'm going to stick that onto here. And I can tell you now, nobody is receiving this because I will eat the rest of them because they were yummy. They were really yummy. So I'm just going to stick that there like that. And actually I need a bit on the back as well, on the inside. Seriously, they were very nice. I did actually share a few with Mr. Doodles, but I ate way too many. I was supposed to do 2 bags and I lost them. We've got a header card there. Now I've actually cut just some green card, and again I'm going to glue that in place. I forgot to put my tape on, so I'm just going to glue that down. Can you hear the fireworks? I think they've calmed down a little bit now because it's getting quite late. It's actually 9:10 in the evening here now. So I haven't even had my dinner yet. Okay, so I'm gluing that in place. I love doing this. I just love these little gift bags that we can all make. What size is the gnome door? The gnome door is, I will show you. This is the gnome door. So that is, let me just grab a stamp. So this is A2. And that's the size of your gnome door. It's actually, I think, it's about 2.5 inches. Because this is actually 6, so that's actually 6 inches. That's 4 inches there. Actually, it might be a little bit bigger, so probably 3 inches actually. So 3 inches in height and about 2 inches wide is your gnome door. Isn't that fab, that card? That's what you can make with it. So we've got little Santa coming out of there. Super popular. Natalie, if you need those, we actually do have them. So I can dispatch those really quickly this week for you. We could possibly get those out Monday for you if you had orders, because I'm just aware that we're getting quite short on time now. So I've actually just got this. This is a die cut. So I've just cut these. And it was just really to create something a little bit decorative. I just wanted to have a bit of contrast there. I don't know what that was for. I think I was supposed to use it, but never mind. I got distracted. So that's our little bag, but I want to do something else. I want to make it a little bit more decorative. So I'm just going to grab some scrap paper here. So I've got my gnome here, and I'm going to actually, I've already die cut him out. And you know what? I can't even remember which set he's from. Oh, he's from the Penguin set. So, Tis the Season? Natalie will tell you. So it's the set, oh, he's here, look. Yeah, 'Tis the Season. So he's the gnome from that set. So I've already stamped him and cut him out. And I just wanted to show you that it's not actually difficult to colour these in. You know, you kind of look at them and you think, oh, you know, lots of detail, but actually you don't have to be an amazing colourist. And I'm just going to do this very quickly. I'm not going to take tons and tons of time over it. And what I want to do is just show you that you actually don't need lots of colours. So look, I am using these markers. That's all I'm going to use. So 7 markers. So I'm going to do his beard first, because this is probably the hardest bit to do. So if I mess it up, then I haven't spent hours colouring him and then messed it all up. So I'm just literally, so this is, if you want the colours, this is T1. And then I'm going to go to T3 because I want to just add a little bit of shading. And because it's his beard, we don't need to do tons. And like I say, I'm just conscious that when it's Christmas, we're all busy. We've got things to do. We haven't necessarily got lots of time to spend doing lots of colouring. Now, actually, I quite like that as it is. So I don't think I had another grey, but I don't think I'm going to put it in. Now, there is no reason why Santa can't be wearing white. So if you wanted to, you could. Now this is a little good shortcut thing for you. So most people now, and I did actually pull these out, have 3 different blues. Oh, these are kind of like aqua colours that I was going to use. And this is how I coloured it the first time round, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is a really good little colouring shortcut if you don't have much time. So I'm going to take it's T3, but it could be any colour, any grey that you've got, and I'm just going to actually colour round where I know there's going to be shadow. And you can see I'm not being careful. I'm just going to go around where the bauble is, in here underneath his beard, in where his sleeves are, and I'm actually creating the shadow. So instead of going light to dark or dark to light, I'm actually just creating shadows instead. And actually, if I wanted to, if I got my T1, I could actually just blend that out a little bit more. But you can see that just doing that is enough. And I could actually put that on a card. It would be perfectly acceptable. Nobody would kind of look at that and go, oh, she hasn't finished that at all. So what I'm going to do is, and this is just such a time saver, I'm going to go to my, let me see, my lightest colour, 32. Right, I've got BG11, so it's like a lovely aqua colour. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over the top. But what I'm going to do is actually just blend it across the grey as well. And see if I need to put a third colour in there, which I suspect I might do. I'm kind of doing this on the go because I didn't plan to do this. I just thought, yeah, we can do that. Okay. So now that's him with one layer of colour on. And then I'm going to get BG32. So this was my middle layer of colour. And I'm just going to, I think I do need that on, yeah. So I'm just, I suppose I didn't need to because I could have actually put a third green on there as well. But, you know, sometimes, I don't know about you, but I don't always find the right colour at the right time. And my markers tend to be all over the place. So sometimes I've kind of got them in the car, they might be at home and I'm in the office. And this is how I actually colour without the right markers or without the right set of colours. And I'm just going to go back over with my lightest green and just blend that all in. And this is just such a good way of doing it without actually, you know, kind of taking loads and loads of time. I'm just going to go around his nose just with that lightest grey and just add a little tiny bit of shadow. And I've forgotten about his bauble there. I haven't got, hang on, let me grab a different colour. We can't have a white bauble or a non-coloured bauble, can we? We need to have a bit of colour on there. We'll put some dots on. And he's done. And that's literally all I'm going to do to that. So let me just hold that up for you so you can see it. Hopefully it doesn't blur for you. But how quick and easy. Okay, so we've coloured him in. And what I want to do now, Natalie, you have the snowball stencil, I believe. I hope you've got that in stock. Everything I'm using she hasn't got in stock. So I'm just going to use Peacock Feather Distress Ink because it's my favourite. As you can tell, this is my favourite colour ever. It's our brand colours. It's everything that I do. This colour is just, it's my colour. So I'm just going to spread some of that around onto just a die cut circle there. Just get that out of the way. If you could see my table now, it's starting to be a mess. If you had the, I don't know if you had the Starry Night stencil, Natalie, you could also use this. And actually, originally I kind of prepped it in advance. I'm not sure if Natalie has that, but I actually used the Starry Nights there. So you could use either or you could even, you know, kind of layer them up. But I love both of these stencils, are amazing. And actually, this has been another real favourite of yours this year. We cannot believe how many of this stencil we've sold. So it's fabulous. And then all I'm going to do, where's my tape gone? We're just going to attach him to our circle. Oh, there is one thing. Oh, just before I do that, I do need to I just want to distress the edge. So I'll just quickly add a bit more. And there's just one more thing I've got to do, which is my thing. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I just have to. I have to doodle somewhere. So I just get a little fine liner pen. And if I go wrong, I don't care, because I kind of like lift my pen. I don't try and do it straight, but just doodle around. And then where I leave a gap, just either do a little dot. You know, you can do 3 little dots like that. You know, so the trick is not to force your hand. If your hand starts to go, lift it off and just follow around the edge. And that's all you need to do. And it just, where we would normally mat and layer, this will replace that, and you don't need to mat and layer anymore. So I'm just gonna take that one on, and let's just position that there. And actually that little bit of card was supposed to go in there. Let me just trim that down. I can't leave it half done because it doesn't look right. So I'm just gonna, I think I used the wrong piece. It's just a little bit big. I've got a super demo for you coming up though. You're gonna absolutely love it. And actually I don't know if I can pop that in there. I'll finish this later. But if I don't finish it, if I don't get the most of it done now, I'll never end up doing it. So I'm just going to slot that in there. And then we would just, I want to just add, where's it gone? I've got a bit of ribbon here that I actually did earlier. And I'm going to use some 3D glue gel. Nice big chunk of that on there, and there you go. That's our little gift bag. How cute is that? I'm sure anyone would love to get that. And it's just you know, I think I used to sell when I first started making cards. I used to sell at craft fairs, and these things, I used to make these with little bits of chocolate in, and the kids used to come along and always used to buy them for mum and grandma, and they used to be the first thing that I ever sold on my craft fairs, because they were always like really nice and cheap, low cost, but really great. Hopefully hope you like that idea and you'll have a go with it. Right, let me just remove some of these things. I've run out of space. It's all going on the floor in a big heap. If you could see, I'm about to start standing on things, I think. Okay, so what shall we see next? What was on my plan? Okay, so some other Christmas, I just want to give you a little peek at some other Christmas items that Natalie has. And I love these. These are part of, I adore these stamps so much. These are actually an earlier release we did that you may not have seen before, but I absolutely adore these, and I think you will as well. If you are more of a mixed media person, you will, I think, love these. So this is from our Ho Ho Holly range, I think it was called. I can't remember now. And there's actually, sorry, I'm missing one. There is this wonderful holly set, and you can see here that these are very sketchy, so they've got a really lovely sketchy feel to them. Oh my gosh, we're coming up to an hour. There is also perfect poinsettias which go with it. Really nice size, so they go together and match. There's also these sets which I know Natalie has. So we have Jingle Bells. Look how funky these are. So look at these funky trees. This is what I was saying to you before. My Christmas trees always have to look a little bit different. This is a nice 4x4 stamp set, but you're still getting really good size stamps here. Perfect for bullet journaling, layouts, lots of different things. You've got the Snowman again. I love this Snowman. He is fabulous. Great size, so he's 4 inches tall. Like I said, Natalie's definitely got these in stock. And here's another funky Christmas tree. This is Deck the Halls. So we've got Deck the halls, you've got your baubles there. So all of these are designed to work together. So I would really, without telling you to buy and spend more than you can afford, if you want to go for one of these sets, I would honestly go for all of them because they just work so fabulously. So you've got Deck the Halls, Smiley Snowman he's called because he is amazing. And then you've got Jingle Bells, which is the one with Rudolph on. And you've got Ho Ho Holly. I think Natalie might be sold out of the poinsettia. But you will absolutely love these. And just a really, really quick flick because I haven't got much time left. Look at this, how fabulous. So this is Jingle Bells. And we've just used a stencil with some gesso or some texture paste through it and a little bit of string. The snowman, but you can see you get a completely different feel. So really nice mixed media Christmas stamps without them being really grungy and dark. That's actually a different set, which that's called Curly Tree, which I don't appear to have in my hand. I thought I did. Oh, I do have one. I do have a sample set here, so you can see that. Can you see that one? I don't know if Natalie's got this one, but that's the Curly Tree, and you've got gifts and some baubles again on there. So that's from that one. What's in? Oh, oh wow! Look at that. I didn't even know that was in there. Wow! Look at that. Gorgeous. Another amazing card with Smiley Snowman, and then just to show you this one, and this is really clever because what she's done here is we've actually layered up that tree. So it's the from Deck the Halls, and it's this tree here, and then she just cut it out and laid it up to make an even bigger tree, which is fab. So that is that little collection of stamps, which I really wanted to show you because I love them. They're one of my favorites ever. Okay, so let's get to, whew, gosh, how much time have we got left? I think I'm going to skip because we've missed quite a bit of time. What time did we start, Chris?
25 to.
Okay. Right, okay. I'm going to, oh, how much time do we have? Okay, I think I need to skip. So I want to teach you guys about stamp soup. So, I think stamp soup is something that I created about 4 or 5 years ago now. And really what it was about was, when I design, I kind of look at everything that I put on the page when I'm designing. And everything has to have more than one use. So, as I'm actually designing, I kind of look at the shapes of something and I try and work out in my mind, it has to earn its place onto the stamp set basically. So what I actually do as I go along is I kind of look at everything and kind of go, okay, how many different ways can I actually use that? And you know, I'm not unique in that. A lot of designers will do that. But one of the things that's really unique is that as I was doing this process, every time I designed a stamp set, I would look at them and then I just designed it, and then I kind of thought, hang on a minute, I'm not going to make that into a flower. I'm going to actually let you guys do that. And then it gives you complete and total control over what you actually make. Now, I've got 3 sets here. I don't know how many Natalie actually has in stock. So we've got lots of different sets of these, but I've actually picked out these 3 because these are, I love these. So, highly decorative, as you can see on the packaging. And the whole idea is when you get these stamps, you're going to turn them over, and I want to get a piece of card. You're going to look at them, and you probably look at them in the store, and you're kind of going to go, what am I supposed to do with those? Because what you're going to get, oh, this is half used. Where's my unused sets gone? Let me show you on this set. Okay, so I'm going to show you on this set. So this is circling around. So on the packaging, I've shown you lots of ideas of what you can get. So in this set, you've got mushrooms, but that could be a flower, or if you coloured it green, it could be a tree. This could be a tree as well. You've got like a little weird fishy bird thing. You've got flowers here with lots of weird stuff. A really funky bird down here. Then you turn it over. Let me take this out of the packaging for you so you can see it better. You turn it over and you look and you kind of think, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Because these are all individual stamps and shapes and just ideas of what you can do. Strange things. So we've got strange lines. We've got things that look like a stalk. We have squiggles. We kind of have misshapen things here. And then we've got things that kind of look like they're a toadstool, but they're not. And the whole point is that these stamps are whatever you want them to be. We all see things differently. So I will look at this shape here, and I kind of think, if I turn that around this way, that's actually a mushroom or a toadstool. But someone else might turn that around that way and kind of go, okay, that actually looks like the head of a bird, and that could be its beak. Or, you know, and so everything is in the eye of the beholder. And these are I think these have to be one of the most creative stamp sets that you can ever buy, that you will love. You will never make the same thing twice. Genuinely, you will never ever make the same thing twice unless you try to do that. And it'll actually be quite difficult for you to do it. So we have a flower head, but also that could be a butterfly wing as well, or it could be a fairy wing, and it could just be a leaf. It could be there are so many different ways. So this is the idea, and what you do is you build. So these are building stamps. So if I show you here, and we're going to run over a bit, Natalie, because I really, really want to show everyone these. I think it's just such a great system. So on this set, this isn't from these sets, it's a different set, but I wanted to show you how these build. So this is the stamp. So this stamp looks like a leaf, but it's actually also a petal, you know, and okay, we all have leaves that are petals as well. So you then build it. So there's a stamp in here on this set, which is a circle, and you'll get lots of little circles and things. And often in these sets, the tiny stamps are actually the real worker stamps. Don't dismiss those, because the tiny stamps do miracles. So the little circle is always like the center of a flower, or it could be an eye, or it could be just an accent or whatever. So I've stamped that and gone round to make a wonderful flower. But look, that now is also a butterfly. So what I've done here, this is the next stamp in this set. I've taken this one and teamed it up, so this now becomes a butterfly, and then this is actually the leaves. So can you see how we start to actually build different things? So the flower centers, if you group them together, they become lots of berries, or you could make it a set of flowers, so you could put 5 together and it could be a set of flowers. So, you know, and then here, look at this, you start to create lots of different flowers. And then with your leaves, you can actually, just by putting a little line, you can actually start to create a leaf stalk. And then look, this is cool. So here on this set, we had this little tiny leaf or petal. And then there was also a little triangle. So that now becomes a beak, and all we've got to do is put 2 little stick legs on. So can you see how you start to build it up? And it's the same on this set. So this is, again, a different set. So you can see, and this is the theory behind it, that it's really, really inspirational. What you have to do is you have to play around with these. So I wanted to, I'm going to show you some sets. So I have this card, okay, or well, whatever it is, piece of artwork, whatever. It was actually made for a card. So this was actually made using now let me think. I think it's actually using the set of, it's a mixture. So it's partly, sorry, I'm just trying to work out which bits it actually has on it. I think I've actually got a set missing. So it's partly from Not So Simple, which is this set. And it actually uses, so this flower here in the middle here is actually the petal that creates the body on here. I'm going to actually show you this in a second. So let me just let me go straight to the demo. So basically I've got my stamps here already. So this stamp here, which is a flower petal, or it could be a fish, or it could be a shell, or a leaf. This basically is that stamp there, so it's going to go there, and it actually creates the body of this little bird. So let's get to the actual demo, and then I'm going to show you lots of samples of other things that you can actually make with this. And I've just realised that I've lost my where have I put it? I've lost my actual card that I'm making. Oh my gosh, do you know, I'm hopeless today. Where's it gone? Okay, and Chris has left me, so bear with me just 1 second while I just grab it. Chris, could you please help me find, I've got a big black piece of card like this size that's got a red version of that on it.
Where is it?
I don't know, I've lost it, I've put it somewhere. I don't know where it's gone. Oh, it's here behind me. Sorry, it's here behind me. Ignore me. Okay, I just needed to see what I was doing. So, I need to grab my... So, I'm going to use some watercolour paper. And I've got all my blocks. So, this is going to be much, much faster than you think it will be. So, I'm going to use my VersaFine ink pad. I might get a little bit... inky, and I'm just going to go for it and try and explain to you what I'm actually doing as I go along. Now the first thing is I need to actually have a circle. Now you could just get a circle, anything that's a circle, you might have a die or something like that, but I'm actually I haven't got one that's the right size for what I want, so I'm just gonna roughly draw a circle. And doing it freehand, I know not everyone can draw a circle freehand, but that's all I need it to be. I'm kind of going to go with that to start off. So I'm just going to get my block, and I'm going to use that original, that first stamp that we looked at. I'm going to just stamp that. So I want that to be the body of the bird. Okay, and then on this set of stamps here, let me think which one. I've got two sets here. So I'm going to actually use this stamp. So I'm using the one from... So what I'm actually using is Circling Around, In a Frenzy, and Not So Simple. Okay. So the bits, because I've taken mine out of the packets, I can't remember which set's which. So I've got a flower here, and what I might do is I might stamp it out for you so you can see what it is. So it's actually a petal. So we could create a butterfly, or we can actually create a flower if we want to. But what we're going to do is use that completely differently, and I'm going to actually stamp it. I might have stamped a bit too close to the bottom here, but we're going to do that. And some of you might think that that's something completely differently. Look, it could be a ring, or it could be the start of another flower. But we're just going to continue with where we are and where we're going with it. So on this set, which is from, this set is, I've lost my packaging. I think the one I'm using now is from Simple. There we go. Not So Simple. Okay. So on Not So Simple, which is this, I'm actually going to use what is the moon here, okay? But again, this can be the moon, oops, but you could, if you actually keep stamping it, you can actually create a huge big flower. You can do lots of things with that. You can actually make it into a hot air balloon as well. So I am going to take the stamp and I'm going to stamp it here. And then I'm going to lay it over, and I'm kind of going to, these are so forgiving and they're designed this way. So I'm actually overlapping the stamps, okay? I'm just going to leave that one as it is, like that. And then I have on the Not So Simple set again, I actually have a stamp here which is like it's kind of like a building, but so it could be a building, or I'm not stamping these very well, there's nothing wrong with the stamps, I show you, it's me, because I'm rushing. So it can be a building, a tower. You can actually layer these. Look, that could be a big chunky cactus or a big succulent, or you could create steps. So look, if you actually swap these around, all of a sudden you have wandering steps or a ladder that's going upwards, or you could build up a building, or it could be a container for your flowers. You know, this could actually be, if you just draw, you know, a stalk in there, that could be a flower in, or like a little tree in a container. So this can be lots of different things. Now I'm going to just grab a very quick mask, and I just want to mask this side off here, and I'm just going to do that, and we're going to create a branch. And then on one of the other sets here, which is the, gosh, In a Frenzy, we have this lovely stamp, and I'm going to actually use this, and we're going to create the end of the branch. And then all we've got to do here is we're just going to connect this up, and it looks really rough at the moment, and you can't really, you're kind of going to wonder what it is, but just bear with me. So now I need to grab something that, can you see what it's going to be? Can anyone see what it's going to, I'm sure you can. So I'm going to grab this little stamp, which again is a petal or a leaf, and now we have a beak. And then I'm going to grab a little circle. Oh no, that's a leaf. No, it isn't, it's a circle. And we have an eye, and we're starting to actually build up a bird. I'm loving looking at some of your ideas that you've got coming through. They're really fab. They're so cool. So everybody sees something different, and that is the whole point of this. Now I love this stamp. This is gorgeous. So look at this stamp. So this one, hopefully you're going to see this one. So this is lots of little dots, and then it's got flowers actually in it already. And you would look at this and think, I can't use that for Christmas, but you absolutely can. And because these are so sketchy, you can actually overstamp these, and it doesn't look like it's a mess. It just looks like it's part of what it's supposed to be. And I'm actually going to overstamp the little bird's head here. And what else do I need to put on here? Oh yeah, so the other thing, I want to make this into, where have they gone? I've lost my I had acrylic blocks with these on, but never mind. I've been doing so much playing today. I've not crafted for ages, and so it's been really nice today. So look, all we've got to do is, from that Ho Ho Holly set earlier, I'm just going to add some holly, and look what starts to happen. We actually start to create a Christmas scene instead. Now there's one more kind of stamp. Where is it gone? I don't know. I could have sworn there was another one, but anyway, never mind. Okay, so I don't want to kind of go on because I'm just conscious that we're running out of time. I'm just going to grab a clean piece of paper if I can. And then I am going to use my Karen markers. And we're just gonna, I'm not gonna finish this off because I already have this done, but I just want to show you what happens. In fact, actually, I lie. Let me, I want to get my stencil. So I'm going to use the snowball stencil again. And I'm just going to add some detail. And I'm just going to fill in very quickly. Just, I don't want all of it, but just some little bits and pieces. How quick was that? Okay. And I might actually add some more stencil to it later, but for now I'm just going to do that. I just wanted to get some colour on, and then actually I do want that. I'm going to actually go in quite close around all the detail here, and it's my ink's smudging a little bit because I haven't let it dry, but just forgive me if it's a little bit messy. I am trying to do this really fast for you. Okay, so let me grab some water. So my Karen markers. So I'm just gonna roughly colour this in. Like I say, I am rushing quite a bit. I'm just gonna grab some water and just bleed this out. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit here. Look how rich these are. They're just amazing. I love these markers so much. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit of, yellow in here. So I want this to basically, I don't know, what's the, you guys that are in Canada, do you have like a national bird? I know in America it's kind of like the winter bird is like the cardinal. And that's kind of what I was going for, because I didn't know what the Canadian version of that was. So we're going to build this up. But you can see, just using a bit of watercolour instead of your markers is so much faster. Can you imagine how long it would take you to actually do this with your markers? And it's also much more forgiving as well. So, you know, when we don't have a lot of time, it's just a really great way of colouring something in. So I'm just going to take the brown, and we don't need a lot. Now this is obviously going to get a little bit wet. I'm going to take some green, and I'm just putting a little bit on each bit. Now I've used my VersaFine ink pad because these are water based, and that means that my VersaFine won't run. It was running with the Distress ink because I was moving it around a bit, and it is actually a new ink pad. Okay, but you can see how quickly this actually starts to come to life. Let's add a bit of a lighter colour in there, and you can see I'm just scribbling it in. I am not doing this properly, and that's the whole idea, is don't be precious over it. Don't try and get it really accurate. You know, you'll want to, because it's just human nature that we want it to be perfect, but it really doesn't need to be. And I'm just gonna add a bit more red around here, and I'm just gonna, what I'm doing is, you could use a water brush, but I'm actually, just for speed, and I'm just wiping my brush off so that it doesn't get too wet with water. Okay, and then the other thing that you kind of need to do here, we've got lots of red holly berries here, and this is what's really going to make it pop. So we've got some little red flowers. I'm going to hold this up actually and show you close up so you can see the stage that it's at. And you kind of have to keep going with it. So, you know, kind of keep going, and it'll be worth it in the end. You don't need to do very much to this. So just those little red flowers, because whenever you look at anything that's watercoloured, it will, if you look really close, it looks amazing, and then you look really close and you think, oh, actually, that's kind of a bit of a mess, but it's kind of what it is. It's just the nature of the medium itself. So then I would literally just add, I'll tell you what I didn't do, just to bring this in a little bit more. I am going to, there was a little leaf that I like, that I feel like needs to be there. We need a bit more greenery going on. So I'm going to add, so again, that same stamp that we made the bird's beak from, we're going to add some extra foliage. Just bits and pieces, and just, you know, don't think about it too much. Just put it where you think it needs to go, where it looks like it looks a bit weird, or it, you know, there's a bit of a gap or whatever. Just add it in there. And you can, I want a lighter green than that there, I think. And the great thing with your Karen markers, if you've not used it before, is they just blend without you even trying. There is actually a blender pen as well that you can use. So if I wanted to, I can actually blend. Maybe not there because I haven't done it, but you can actually just blend. There's actually just water in that, but it's a really great blender. So that's kind of where I've got to with that. Now, I want to show you how I actually finish this off, because I'm just aware we're coming up to time. This is the final thing that I actually did. So all I've done differently here, let me show you this one. Let me pour my water in so we can actually compare them. It's exactly the same. So all I did was I just spent a little bit more time on here. I went into all of these corners here, and what I did was, let me just show you, I just got my darker colour. So you could do this with Copics if you wanted to. So I just went in here, and around where the actual inked images and the inked lines are, I kind of just picked up all of the darker bits, if you like. And I'll show you that I can actually blend that out with my pen, look. So rather than putting too much water on, that's what I like about these, because sometimes I do have a tendency to put a little bit too much water on. I get a bit carried away. And then I go back and it's still wet, and I can't be bothered to wait. I haven't got the patience. So you can just blend that right out as much as you like. And it's not affecting the Distress ink because they're both water-based products, so it doesn't matter. And if you wanted to, you could, what have I done with my brush? Where's that gone? Oh, it's there. So if you wanted to, you know, if you need to, you can go back in with your brush and keep blending. And just blend that back out again. So you can see that once you actually go in and start adding a lot darker colour, it actually really starts to make it pop. And all I've done then, we have the number stencil. So basically the numbers have come from, oh, what's it called? There we go. We have the number collage stencil. And all I've done is I've taken that stencil and just actually created 25 for the 25th of December. Karen, what is the name of the marker? I'll show you the markers in 1 second. Just let me finish this and I'll show you. And then I actually took the holly stencil down the side. Is called, I can't remember what this is called. I think it's just called Holly. Funnily enough, this is amazing, this stencil. Let me show you that on dark card. So this is stunning, this stencil. So I just literally, Natalie, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of this or the SKU number. So I just literally laid it on there and then just put a texture paste through that. And then all I've done extra is I had some gold paint. I actually use Kuretake Gansai Tambi paints a lot, and the gold is actually from that, and it's just a watercolour gold paint, and I just splashed it all over, and that's all I've done here that you've not just seen me do. It was just I took a little bit longer, but if I'd have just spent, it didn't take long. I literally only spent the same amount of time as I just have now. And you can see that all then I did was I just doodled a black border around, filled in obviously the bits that I've missed here, but that pretty much is what finished it off. The only reason I did this was because I didn't want to cut it off. I kind of wanted it to make a bit of a pop, really. And if actually to finish this, what I would do, I personally love layers, so I would cut these out, the leaves, and actually mount them up and layer them up and actually get a bit of dimension going on in there. So that's what I did. But you can see all that gold glistening, and then I just dry brushed it down the side here, and that was that. So if you could see my desk right now, so I think you probably all want me to finish. It's been an hour and a half. I'm really sorry. You were asking about the Karen markers. So Natalie's saying she's looking into it. You know, Natalie, if you need some help, I can probably help you if you need some help getting those in. Basically, they're called Karen Brush Marker Pro. You can actually get, ooh, mine are a bit dusty. We did these as a giveaway not very long ago. You can get this great big massive box. This is, I don't know how many colours, I think it's 72, which I think is the whole lot. But they are a brush nib, so nice brush nib, really, really juicy. You use the tiniest amount of colour. They blend amazingly well as long as you use them on watercolour paper. And I just love them. I don't know anyone that doesn't love these. They're not the cheapest in the world. They are a premium marker, but you will love them. And I just love the fact that they come in this amazing box. That's kind of like magnetic, so you just kind of put it on your shelf. They come in all different pack sizes as well, so you can buy them individually or in 3s or 6s. So I'm sure Natalie will have a look at those for you. So I think we're done. I'm worn out. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Natalie, for letting me take over your page. I really appreciate it, and thanks for bearing with me with all the technical difficulties. And I hope you guys have got all your orders in with Natalie. It's an amazing shop, and certainly if I come to Canada anytime soon, I'll be giving it a visit for sure. I would love to come to Quebec and visit. So thank you so much for sorry, I'm reading your comments. Thank you so much for having me, and hopefully we can do this again soon without all the technical problems. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. I'm going to go home and yeah, I won't forget to share it. I'm going to share the video, so you'll all be able to re-watch it as well. So I'll share this video, and I'm going to go home and collapse now. I've been at work since 6 this morning, so it's 10 o'clock at night here. So enjoy your weekend, and I will catch up with you all soon. Thank you, Natalie, and thanks to everyone that's actually joined us here on the live. Thanks so much. I've got to actually get everything off my desk now to actually shut this down, and my mouse is buried, so bear with me. Thank you, and bye everyone. It's been wonderful. Bye. Au revoir.